Leo, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Now, this is an energy reading, so please take it where and how it resonates in your life. It is your message. And if you're not a Leo, but this has popped into your feed, it is absolutely your message because it's heart and energy reading. So the only reason why it would have showed up is if your energy called it to you, and there's something in this message that is going to help you once you hear it. It always shows up at just the right time, and this is where your message begins. So we know what this card means. I think it's well understood if you're watching tarot. What's lovely about it is heartbreak can be one of the best inspirations to change because it's a great teacher. After you've allowed yourself to heal a bit, you can get to a point of understanding, and that understanding is supposed to change you. It's supposed to. You're not supposed to be the same person before and after heartbreak. That wouldn't make any sense. Heartbreak is really like an egg opening or a cocoon opening. It really births a different version of you. Now, that version, based on your reaction, can be harder and heavier, or it can be lighter with the understanding and enlightenment of the experience you went through, as in the realization that you are now free. If something has broken your heart, it has provided you an opportunity to be better or be worse. And that really just depends on you. So we have a lot of other cards. Let's go over them. And that's sort of the baseline. Heartbreak. And then, now remember, heartbreak doesn't just happen romantically. It can happen when you get laid off from a job. It can happen when you lose anything that you held to as something you deserved or cared about or gave you happiness or pleasure. It can be heartbreak just because it marks a point in your life that's over. That could have a natural ending to it, but at the same time, it doesn't mean you're happy to see it go away. I remember my heart broke when my son went away to college, and I was happy that that was happening. But it marked an end of a period of time for me that was one of the happiest times of my life. So there was nothing wrong and nothing bad happening, but it was painful in its experience. So let's move on and see what's going on. There is contentment in your life. There is a level of happiness, especially in work that you do, but you've taken on a little bit too much. Something has become a burden here. What this tells me is that there was a situation in your life where you were way too content to take on more than you should. You were doing a great job at it, but it's almost like you were doing it to prove that you could. And because of that, you were taking on more than you should. More than you should means that you were taking on other people's responsibilities. And whether you were doing it out of arrogance or out of desperation, out of ego, whatever it was, you were doing a great job, of course, 100%. This was something where you were just really, the Nine of Cups implies that you were very content there. You were very happy. You were very fulfilled, being recognized and being known and seen for the great stuff that you were doing. But the universe wants to let you know it was watching, and you were doing way too much. You were overburdening yourself, or this drive to be the best has become too much of a burden on you. And it is at least adding to or setting it at least added to or set you up for the heartbreak that you're experiencing. There's something here with a new start, a new beginning, or almost like an immature love. It doesn't have to be romantic love, but this love, it wasn't necessarily bad, but this love was immature. It was actually still exploratory, right? It was still something that was sort of out of the dreams of the child version of you. It was sort of what your ego wanted or needed, not what your heart wanted or needed. Um, you could be trying very hard to keep something from the past alive, and it's becoming too great a burden on you and wasting your energy. And this is the card that you need to see. I did not pick it. This demonstrates an addiction, a toxic behavior, a toxic attachment, an attachment that is binding you and imprisoning you, not teaching you anything. It is draining energy from you. So, Leo, I'd like you to pause, and I'd like you to really try to be as objective as possible. And if you don't think you can be, ask a friend of yours, a friend or somebody that you know really loves you, because I guarantee you this person has sat back and been watching you hurt yourself. Maybe not physically, happy birthday, Doug Denny, but emotionally, maybe economically, maybe in terms of your reputation. They've been watching you hurt yourself for a while now, but you were too stubborn to listen to them, or when they tried to warn you, you would fight with them and shut them up. Because there's so much goodness here, but the goodness is all in your capacity, in what you're capable of doing. And what doesn't make any sense is to continue wasting that in a situation where you are legitimately throwing away your energy and throwing away your efforts, when your energy and effort can be used in so many other wonderful ways. It can be used and applied to life, to your life, in ways that will appreciate you, will respect you, do care about you. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, the one thing I like about this card, well, there's a lot of good messages in this card, and I know this symbol means something else, but it also reminds me, to the viewer or to the querent, it almost reminds me of it's a specific symbol. And that's not what this means. It's almost a defensiveness or a protective symbol, but it reminds me of a stop. Take stock. There's something going on here that has gone over the level of healthy, and it has gotten out of control in a way that is very toxic. So there has been, and it's got to do with maybe actual work or something that you have been putting too much of your time, energy, and effort into, and it's breaking your heart. And the reason why it would break your heart is because you're doing it for almost fantastical purposes. You're doing it based on whatever you perceived this as when it was new, and you have not allowed it to be what it is now. In your mind somehow, and in your commitment to it, you've remained stuck in what it was in the beginning, as opposed to what it is now. What it is now has become over cumbersome, overburdensome, and it's not doing for you what you had originally, hoped for. And so there's an attachment here to this concept of it, but you're not seeing the reality of it, which is why you're draining yourself. This is not every aspect of your life, guys. This is something that's going on that you need to and can address. And it doesn't even mean necessarily you have to get rid of it. You just have to rebalance the amount of energy you're putting into it. Because if you don't, with the devil card present, it is a warning that you will start making yourself sick. Because that's the only way to continue to give energy to something that is not giving energy back, is to chop pieces of yourself off. And on some level, the fact that the Three of Swords is here, you already know it. This could be that you are going through heartbreak, but there's still part of you that's fighting the truth that you see, the truth that's been recorded and reported. There's still part of you that's fighting it. And I think it's because of shame, that it's almost like, I'm too good for this. How did I let myself get into this? Well, you are too good for it, but you let yourself get into it because you're human, and there's no such thing as being a perfect one of those. And so what you'll have to do now is find a way to love yourself, forgive yourself, hug that part of yourself that you're rejecting because you don't want to look at it or accept it. That's going to be the first step in your healing process and in your ability to start giving to yourself and feeding to yourself. Remember, it's that part of yourself that is most deprived. It's that part of yourself that needs the love. And for some reason, that love or that attention, that affection, or that energy, that effort, that hard work is still going outside of you. So far, this message is like, Leo, reel that back in. There's a part of you that needs to be invested in, right? In terms of investing in somebody else, don't do it. Like, stop that. Because you're seeing what they were, not what they are now. This could be a job, that you took with its best intentions that you're doing great at, but it's changed. There's some dynamic in it that's gotten toxic, and it's taking too much from you. So even if it remains your vocation or your career, it has to be recalibrated. It has to be recalibrated because there's a level of toxicity here. Okay, so let's clarify the Devil card. Well, first of all, it came out before I asked the question. The clarification is the universe wants to find you a way forward. The universe wants you to be objective and clear-minded, to choose a different path, to go about something in a different way that will be more productive for you. This could also be an indication of counsel. Hire a counselor, hire a consultant if it's your business, right? Use an objective perspective, somebody that can see something clearly, because you're not. There's part of this that you're not seeing clearly, and somebody else may be able to come in and do it. This may not be a situation. Now that the Devil energy is here with the heartbreak, you may not be in a place with this circumstance where you can be objective. So you would need somebody else to come in and trust what they see so that you can move forward. So a little bit will have to be faith, but part of healing is always faith. Yeah, there's something that you weren't told. There's something that you weren't told, and I think that's at the primary. It's almost like there's something, or there's information in some way that you're blocking. This is a situation where you've tried very, very hard. You've worked very hard, but it's not working. Something's not working. It's not growing. Like it's dying. Like no matter how much this guy is taking care of his harvest, it's dying. And instead of making a decision or something that could be clear, it's almost like, I don't want to yet. I need more information. I don't want to do it. I don't want to make the choice. When in reality, it's already clear to you that it's not working. But you're like, okay, why? And so it's the why that's keeping you stuck. Oh, I love that. Okay, it's the why that's keeping you stuck. It's the why that's keeping you stuck. Which means you have the power to get unstuck even now, because all you have to do is stop asking why. Sometimes it doesn't matter why. What matters is that it's happening. It's happening. So there was either a lack of respect or a lack of interest or a lack of information or a lack of capability, right? Why is because it's not the right situation for you. Right? But you're keeping yourself stuck in the loop. This is pride. You're keeping yourself, because I want to know why. I want to know why. You don't have to know why. You have to know and accept. The why is your scapegoat for not accepting that this is the truth. And that's what's keeping you stuck. So if you shift your focus and your priorities to loving yourself and putting the energy into yourself and say, fuck the why. Look what's happening. It's real. And that's what I have to react to. That's what I have to, but you're not going to accept what's real and what's happening in front of you until you stop asking why, because asking why is a reason for you to stay stuck in this situation. So let me see if I can help you. Can we answer the why? Tell me what the hell happened. What is this toxic situation? Why did this become toxic? What's the why? Because somebody made a decision to look in another direction. And the truth is that they've been thinking about this for a while. And watch this upcoming Mercury retrograde. It's coming. Watch this upcoming Mercury retrograde. I think that you already might be in the throes of it because we're in its shadow period. Shadow periods for Mercury retrograde are even worse than the retrograde themselves. So it's almost like it's nostalgic. And that's what the Six of Cups is. It's nostalgic, like you're sitting here in a loop of the past as opposed to the future. And somebody may keep coming back, right? Because of it. But there is a decision. The why. Why did somebody... Because somebody's scared to move forward. Because somebody's scared. There's something here where there is a decision. They want to make a decision to go in a different direction, but their fear is keeping them stuck, which is why you're stuck. I think you're mistaking this for sincere, if this is personal, like a personal relationship, you're mistaking this for sincere interest, when really it's just fear on their part to move forward. Don't be somebody's safety zone. You're a Leo. Be somebody's priority. There's no other options. Let's go to the extended. I want to know more.